Top 10 most haunted places in the world. Whether you are a believer or not, the world is filled with creepy stories passed down through times, from haunted fortresses to grisly tales of suffering and death. We have put together a list of 10 most haunted places in the world. But before starting this thrilling video, starting today's video, if you are new to our channel, do subscribe for more videos like this. And don't forget to like and share. So, let's begin the countdown. Number 10. Poveglia Island, Italy. In the Venice lagoon between Venice and Lido, this small island was a place where mainlanders fled to seek refuge from invaders. In the 14th century, Venetians infected by the bubonic plague were sent here to die, and when they died, they were burned on giant pyres. The site was also used as a mental asylum during the 1800s, where patients were experimented on and tortured. Ask a local and they will tell you that the island is full of ghosts and cursed with unhealthy spirits. Voices and screams are often heard, and visitors have reported seeing dark, fleeting shadows. Many visitors say they begin to feel an oppressive evil feeling as soon as they step on the island. Despite nearly being auctioned off to an entrepreneur, the island remains totally abandoned and off-bounds to most visitors. Even if you were allowed to go to the island, you'd be hard to find someone willing to take you, as many locals won't step foot on Poveglia for fear of being cursed, and fishermen refuse to fish in the area, worried they'll drag up human remains. Number 9. Banff Springs Hotel, Alberta, Canada. Styled after a Scottish baronial castle, the Banff Springs Hotel in Alberta, Canada is one of Canada's great railway hotels and reportedly one of the most haunted buildings in the country. There's a bride who fell down the staircase breaking her neck after panicking when her dress caught fire. She's often seen in the ballroom dancing with the flames coming from the back of her dress. A family were murdered in room 873. The room to this door has since been bricked up, but the family can still be seen in the hallway outside the room. And the former bellman, Sam Macaulay, who served at the hotel during the 60s and the 70s, still's like helping guests up to their room, dressed in his 60s uniform. If you try to tip him or make conversations, he disappears. Now part of the Fairmont chain of luxury hotels, the Banff Springs, also known as the Castles in the Rockies, still remains a landmark in the town of Banff, Alberta, and remain a popular year-round resort. Number 8. Hellfire Club, Montpelier Hill, Ireland. The Hellfire Club was a hunting lodge built in 1925 for William Connolly, an Irish parliamentary speaker. The stones of the buildings are from ancient passage tombs said to have angered the devil, which first associated the site with the supernatural. The lodge reportedly became a gathering place for a small group of Dublin elites who met for debauchery and devil worship. Its ruins sit atop the summit of Montpelier Hill in the foothills of the Dublin Mountains. Tales of animal sacrifice, black masses, cloven hoofed men, and murder are linked to the structure. The most popular tale tells of a visit by a satanic creature in the form of a man who is only discovered when one of the players dropped a card on picking it up. Notice the guest had cloven feet. On his discovery, the creature disappeared in a ball of flames. There are stories about a big black cat the size of a dog who took on a priest and haunts the lodge. The most regularly ghostly visitor is a young lady believed to have been placed in a barrel, set on fire, and rolled down the hill for fun. Number 7. Castle of Good Hope, Cape Town, South Africa. Built in the 17th century by the Dutch East India Company, the Castle of Good Hope is South Africa's oldest building. The first ghost was spotted in 1915 when the apparition of a tall gentleman was seen jumping off the side of the castle walls and then walking between the bastions Leerdam and Oranje. Another famous ghost, the Lady in Grey, was often seen running through the castle, holding her face and crying hysterically, but has not been seen since a woman's body was found during excavations. Other unexplained events include the bell in the tower ringing of its own accord and the ghost of a black dog that pounces on unsuspecting visitors, then simply vanishes into thin air. Arguably one of the world's best preserved 17th century buildings, the castle is now a popular tourist attraction with 3 prestigious museums, a memorial to Crotoa, the leader of the Khoi nations, and an opportunity to learn more of the hidden history surrounding the castle on a guided tour. You can also eat in the restaurant in front of courtyard and watch the key ceremony and cannon firing. Number 6. Ancient Ram Inn, Gloucestershire, England. Built in 1145, the inn was used by priests who kept slaves and workers there to help build the St. Mary Church located in Wotton-under-Edge. It is situated in two lines, places believed to have spiritual energy from Stonehenge. It has also reported that it was the scene of a child sacrifice and devil worshipping. It is widely believed that the redirecting of water of the ancient ram property caused a portal for dark energy to open up, meaning many ghosts haunts the inn. The witch room is said to be haunted by a woman burned at the stake in the 1500s as she was accused of being a witch. A high priestess has been spotted sitting on a bed. A centurion on horseback has been seen walking through the walls. The agonizing scream of a girl heard. A monk in the most haunted room, and even the succubus is said to slip into the beds of visitors. Despite being well known as one of the most haunted places in the world, featuring on TV programs such as Most Haunted and Ghost Adventures, the inn has changed hands several times in the recent past, making the owners difficult to track down. However, many paranormal events are hosted at the inns. Number 5. Dragsholm Slot, Denmark. Dragsholm Slot, or Dragsholm Castle, was originally built in 1215, making it one of the oldest castles in Denmark and reportedly the most haunted castle in all of Europe. In the 16th and 17th century, parts of it were used to house prisoners of noble ecclesiastical rank, and in 1694 it was rebuilt in a Baroque style. The castle is thought to be home to at least 100 ghosts, including the Earl of Bothwell, the husband of Mary Queen of Scots, who died as a prisoner in the castle. You may also see the White Lady wandering the halls, whose skeleton was found encased in a wall by builders in 1930s. Number 4. Myrtles Plantations, USA. Situated in the small town of St. Frankville, northwest of New Orleans, is the mansion of Myrtles Plantations, bordered by a 125-foot veranda. The stained glass front door leads to a grand foyer displaying a huge French crystal chandelier. With 10 people being murdered in the mansion itself, it's no surprise there has been so many reported ghost sightings, the most famous of which is Chloe, who had her ear cut off by her lover. She wears a green turban, peering intently at investors while they are in bed, and has even appeared in a photograph. A more recent photo also shows another young girl known as Ghost Girl peering through the window of the house. More eerie sightings include a child bouncing on the bed, a soldier, a voodoo priestess, and a ghost of a previous owner who was shot in the chest and has been heard staggering up the stairs where he died. Despite being known as the most haunted house in America, the Plantations is now a pretty bed and breakfast offering 12 accommodations. Ghost tours are run from the site, and you can choose between daily tours or the spookier and more popular evening tours. And soon a new restaurant on the site will bring fresh, local food to visitors. So I hope you guys are enjoying and a little rarefied which are the top 3 of the list. Number 3. Bangarh Fort, Rajasthan, India. The ruin of the fort city built in the 17th century, Bangarh Fort consists of fort walls, bazaars, havelis, royal palaces, and numerous temples, with 3 grand stories you can explore. But do not be fooled by the beauty of these ruins, as they are ranked as the most haunted fort in India. A wizard called Singhia and a princess called Ratnavati who spurned his advances. Legend has it that the enchanted oil he hoped would make her love him turned into a boulder when she threw it away, and it crushed him. But not before he cursed the palace, condemning the inhabitants to death without any hope of rebirth. Another story suggests a local ascetic cursed the fort because its shadow overpowered his property, and apparently if anyone attempts to build a roof on the fort, it will collapse. Bangarh Fort is now an archaeological site known as the House of Ghosts. It is possible to hire a guide who can show you around the site and give you the details of its eerie past. Be sure to visit in daylight, as the fort is closed between sunset and sunrise, with locals convinced that anyone who spends the night amongst the ruins will never be seen again. Number 2. Monte Cristo Homestead, New South Wales, Australia. A late Victorian mansion with intricate cast iron latticework built by wealthy landowner Christopher William Crawley in 1876, reputedly Australia's most haunted house. Take your pick. There's a young child who is dropped down the stairs, the maid who fell from the balcony, or the stable boy who burned to death. The most active, however, is the ghost of the son of the caretaker who is found curled up next to the dead body of his mother and chained up for 40 years. The house currently operates as B&B, offering dinner followed by a ghost tour where you can learn all about its gruesome past. Those who dare can spend the night in the haunted homestead. Number 1. Chateau de Brissac, Maine-et-Loire, France. Dubbed as the Giant of the Loire Valley, this is the highest castle in France, boasting 7 floors, 204 rooms, numerous portrait galleries, and a private opera house which seats 200 people. It was a fortress built by the Counts of Anjou in the 11th century, and King Louis VIII dropped by in 1620. The most active is La Dame Verte, Green Lady, who apparently the illegitimate child of King Charles VII and was later murdered by her husband in a chateau in 15th century after he caught her having an affair. She is often seen in the tower room of the chapel wearing her green dress with gaping robe where her eyes and nose should be. When not startling guests by her appearance, she can be heard moaning around the castle. The chateau is a popular hotel that hosts special events such as Christmas market and tasting of a well-regarded wines produced from its own vineyards. Guests who are brave enough to stay overnight enjoys room lavishly decorated with period furniture. So, we have come to the end of this video. Have you ever visited any haunted places? Let us know in the comment section below. Stay tuned for more video like this. Till then, stay safe and bye-bye.